taking the time to really say, who do I want to be in this next chapter of my life? And what type of clothes need to go along on the journey with me? Getting rid of the things that don't owe you anything because they caused you stress and angst. And anyone that knows about that seasonal closet switch, if you're moving the same things over and over, be done, and then fill it up with a couple of things that really make your heart sing, and then always save a little extra for an important wedding, vacation, big presentation at work. That's the way that we play this game.
Hey friends, welcome to The Good Life with Michelle Lamoureux, a show for women in midlife who want to live happier, healthier, and more meaningful lives. I'm your host, Michelle Lamoureux, a self-love coach and the author of Design a Life You Love. And together we're going to be doing just that. Each week I bring on world-class experts, best-selling authors, leading entrepreneurs, and also do solo casts with the intention of inviting you to get connected to what you really desire from your life. This show is produced with love every week. There's inspiration and actionable tips in every episode because I want to see women playing a starring role in their lives instead of living on the sidelines. Be sure to join the Good Life community newsletter over at thegoodlifecoach.com for more inspiration and tips to live your best midlife. And make sure you're following the show on your favorite podcast player. I'm so glad that you're here. Hey friends, it's Michelle. Welcome back. If you feel like you've been in a style rut and need a reset of how to get dressed and feel great every day, today's interview is for you. Joining us today is Mary Lou Andre, who's got 30 years of experience as a nationally recognized stylist, corporate image consultant, speaker, and author. Today, she brings us a 5-step plan that all of us can implement easily, and I know you're going to love it. Before we get into today's episode, I'd love to invite you to join the Good Life newsletter, which you can find on your podcast player, and you will get 52 self-care tips sent right to your inbox to welcome you, and that's the best way to connect with me with topics you want covered on the show. On that note, let's get into today's conversation. Here we go. Mary Lou, why is it that we are only wearing 20% of our wardrobes? And, I feel like you've been on before and I'm back in that same rut again. Why do we fall into this rut? What is going on?
Oh my goodness, Michelle, let's have a reset. How about we have a reset right now? First of all, it's a very exciting time to get dressed. There's brand new styles. Summer is on the horizon, so there's lots of opportunity for color and dresses and set your legs free. No more tights, no more boots. There's layering pieces. Fashion is going through a very relaxed version of itself, and it's not that roll out of bed like we all did for 3 years during COVID. It's more set yourself free of some of the fabrics that are restricting, some of the things that don't make you feel your personal best. But as you know, Michelle, and we'll get into this today, it all starts with an organized approach to style.
Yes. So how do we develop that daily organized habit so that we simplify getting dressed and we feel great when we walk out the door? Because we shouldn't feel like we threw something on. There's no reason for that because we're buying things in theory that we like.
Mm-hmm. Correct. So the worst time to think about what you're going to wear is 5 minutes before you exit the home, jump on a Zoom call. So the devil is in the details, and the magic of owning your own personal style truly starts in your closet. We, as you know, Michelle, we have a 5-step process that can help anyone, anybody, we also say, figure this out. But step number 1 is really getting clear about your lifestyle today. And we oftentimes walk clients through kind of just a little pie chart like that is so that applies to so many things in life, but it really applies to your wardrobe. So just taking the time to sit and think with even with a pen and pencil and a piece of paper in hand, but what are you actually doing on a day-to-day basis and what are your goals? Your personal and professional goals should always be tied to wardrobe. So say you're looking to lose a few pounds headed into this glorious summer season. What's in your closet that actually makes you want to go out and take a walk, go to the gym, combine errands with getting some mobility in your day? So we start that a lot with folks. If someone's telling me that they're on Zoom, a good percentage, I'm going to want to look at their tops, their jewelry, and I'm going to, again, want them to feel really good about showing up. If they're traveling, and we're all back to traveling, what is that travel capsule? I think that word, by the way, is overused, but I'll use it here because people like it and they tend to relate to it. But what are the pieces that you take on the road that allow you to jump at a weekend getaway, jump on a vacation that might be either planned or be last minute? We tend to have just way too much stuff, Michelle, that helps us, that doesn't allow us to really use clothes in their proper context, which is really about making us feel good, helping us communicate effectively, helping us travel, helping us exercise, helping us celebrate life's wonderful moments, and also just getting our life done. So the first thing I like to do is ask a client, tell me about you. What do you do on a day-to-day basis? What are your aspirations personally? What are they professionally? And do you have the clothing that allows you to lead your life with joy and simplicity? The next step is really truly about getting organized. And we have a couple of rules of thumb that over the years people have, you love when people give them back to you because they had such meaning to them. But one of them is three tops for every bottom is a great one. So spending some time getting the jeans, the pants, the exercise bottoms, whatever that might be in your life. And this year, the skinny jeans are kind of passe, although I'll never give up my skinny jeans completely, Michelle. It's really knowing how to wear them in a more modern way. But the more of a relaxed fit, more of a palazzo style, a flare leg, a bigger leg is in. So maybe you want to add that. And usually for women of a certain age, which I think I have a handle on your demographic, anyone really, but if we're talking to kind of that 45, 65, 70, even a pull-on pant. I just was ordering today on Amazon, so some very sophisticated clients. But there's just some beautiful brands out there that allow you to wear that trend in a way that's more comfortable. So even a pull-on that really is higher to help with, keeping your midsection more contained and then giving you more of a relaxed fit that isn't overly baggy. That might be something you want to do. And this year I was down in Florida visiting some relatives over the holiday, I think it was in March. And I was like, I really it takes time. That's the other thing is like, if you really want to wear your clothes well and with ease, you got to make the time to get the proper fit. So, even for myself, when I was in Florida, I had time to try on some of the new pants and ended up buying 4 or 5 new pairs of pants that are going to really get me through the summer. And I'm a pant girl. You might be a dress person. Day dresses are having a moment. We love dresses because we call them adult onesies. You put them on and you're done. You really just have to figure out the shoes and the accessories. But taking the time to, again, look at what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, figuring out where the gaps are. And a lot of people will say, I don't really have those really nice those items that make me feel awesome socially. And again, lifestyles here are much more casual, but maybe it's a couple of day dresses that can be elevated to meeting friends for dinner or drinks just with a different shoe and some different jewelry. So Step number two is organizing your closet in a way that you can put your hand on things. And again, some of those rules that I hear all the time are dresses are easy, um, three tops for every bottom. People can kind of hold on to that. And then I also do this for myself, and I certainly do it for my clients, is I organize that closet like a little Tony boutique. Why not? One of the first decisions you make in the morning is what am I going to wear? And to your point, why are we all wearing the same things? And I don't necessarily think that's a wrong thing either, Michelle. I have a lot of busy clients that I serve that want kind of a uniformed approach. They want to have good choices for work, good choices for going. I was just working with a CEO and she said, I just don't feel good on the sidelines on Saturday. She's got three high school kids that are athletes. So part of it was like time out, let's put together some jean looks. We even went into some of the more elevated sweatpant for lack of a better word. By the way, the whole movement towards athleisure wear has just been brilliant for many women.
Totally. Yeah.
Fits a lot of bodies. And some of my favorites in that category come from the Gap. So, it's fashion's where you find it. It's really having the vision of what you want. And first, it mostly starts with getting clear on what you do and where the gaps are. Even for most women, including executives today, having at least two pairs of sneakers, a fashion sneaker and a athletic workout, whether you run, go to the gym, even if you just want to walk. I think walking is for a lot of people, we're all sitting in our desks all day, even having a good walking routine makes sense. But a lot of my clients that may not have been, a little bit timid of that whole sneaker trend, getting the right sneakers that set the right tone has just been so liberating for them. It's also comfortable and it allows you to you can even wear some of those with a blazer or a dress if you choose. So you're comfortable, you're modern, but then again, it's how you put yourself together. So step number two is really about getting organized. And the best part about organizing is you really can identify the gap. So if I were
Yes.
you right now, Michelle, I'd be putting all your pants in one place. I'd be hanging your dresses. And at the same time, releasing the things that no longer serve you. And sometimes it's not even that they're beyond repair. It's sometimes you're just kind of tired of them.
Yeah.
Sometimes I put things in another closet where items are still really good. I'm like, let's just give them a break and see if you miss them. Or let's really retire things and repurpose them by bringing them to the proper charity. And we do that for all of our clients because we recognize that people want to do the right thing with their clothes, but having a plan and anyone can do this on their own. Like I have three places where I bring things. I send things to my sister who lives in Dallas. I do that a lot. I have friends that I give things to. When my kids were little, I gave a lot to their babysitters. So it's
Wow.
about, again, it's carving the time. It took a long time for that closet to get in its current state. Carving the time to undo it and put it back. We have a beautiful program an online program called Dressing Well Insiders. It's a monthly subscription. People are loving it. It's very reasonably priced. People call it like their new magazine subscription. But as a special bonus for that program, we had a closet jam. We called it a closet jam. We did 2 hours. Sarah Zengo, our senior consultant, just got on the Zoom and let people get in their closet. She gave them a pep talk. And then she just stayed on the line and gave them advice like, yeah, you should retire that. Or you should, maybe add a different top, maybe add a sneaker, maybe get that altered. But you don't have to go to a program to do that. Get a girlfriend over or do it yourself, but hold yourself accountable and get that closet. Really, about half of it could probably go.
Oh, yeah.
So tame your chaos, organize it in a way that you can say, I really don't have a relaxed blazer that I can wear to, really nail a presentation that I need to give. Or I don't have comfortable commuter shoes that will get me into New York, LA, wherever you work. comfortably. Or even for myself recently, I said, I really don't have a great trench coat. I'm here in New England. We had a horrific spring with rain. And my favorite trench coat, I had lost the belt on it
Oh,
and wasn't wearing it. It was sitting there. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just bite the bullet and replace that. And I ended up
yeah.
living in it. Even simple things, Michelle, like scarves can take your basic pieces. You asked me to really share some of the tips that allow people to feel better and add
Yes.
color and texture and take their base pieces and bring them to life. But even yesterday, I had to last minute go into bring my mom to the hospital. I was in the hospital all day, and I threw just a beautiful scarf over my blouse. I had a pair of sneakers on, had jeans on, and I knew I was going to be representing her. I knew I was going to have to feel good about myself. And
Yes.
I sat and did work all day while she was being treated. But it's just those little things. And I said, I'm going to share that with Michelle today because it really gave me a pep in my step. I was not expecting to be in the hospital all day yesterday. But the reason I could do that is my wardrobe is set up in a way that even my scarves are organized. And to beat that overwhelm, I only have about 5 or 6 scarves per season that are front and center in the closet. So organization.
So
Want me to
before we get
out
on
or
to
do
the
you want
next
to
step, I
right?
think I want to unpack a few of the things you said because it's important. First, though, your mom's okay?
She's okay. Thank you so much. Yes.
Okay. Sorry about to hear that. I know that's another challenge that we have, but I think what you just said was important because when you show up and you're the caretaker for your mom or you're the one representing her, you also
Hmm.
want to be taken seriously. And sometimes
Yep.
how we show up does impact whether or not we like it, how we're treated. So
Absolutely.
you feel better and you're showing up more like you
Hmm.
because of you threw that scarf on and then you can represent her better too. So I think that's actually really
And
important.
I think that the bigger piece of that, and of course, I've been coaching in this space, and really what we're like, the word stylist gets thrown around. Like we, of course, are stylists, but we're really consultants. Like we're really helping people manage their life better. And when you have good choices at the ready, like I honestly was going to be at my desk all day yesterday working, and then very unexpectedly, I had to dash into Boston. And to your point, Michelle, I was like, okay, I have this uniform. This is kind of my show, go, I can throw this on to go run to the grocery store. I can throw it on. It's nice enough that I could even see a client in it. But adding that scarf, the color, it was a nice day here in Boston. Having, I was going to be walking and making sure she was safe. I had a pair of, fashion sneakers. But to your point, yes, I interacted with probably 5 or 6 doctors yesterday. And for me to show up in a way that sets a tone of preparation, put togetherness, it just
Yeah.
translates that you are respectful to yourself, which shows respect to others. I was being respectful to my mom. And it's also just an empowering way to interact in the world when you have, I didn't have a ton of makeup on, but I had my hair done, makeup, and I was casual, but I felt really good about myself, which allowed me to feel good about helping her.
Absolutely. And the other, I mean, you've said it a few times now, planning, you need to make the time. And I think anything worth doing requires time. So if you
Absolutely.
really care about how you look, and I think it's important to hear that because I know I've been needing to every weekend. I help my daughter with her closets. I'm like doing everything but mine. And it's like, wait, I need to prioritize that because once I do, I know I'll feel better. And when things are at the ready and you know where they are and organized, like you said, the pants, the dresses, everything together, you feel more relaxed. So you just have to put the time into it. Um, I love dresses. Love dresses.
You too.
So give us just because you mentioned a few things. So favorite brands that are doing a good job with dresses?
Great. Yeah, the couple things about dresses that are so lovely that they've changed. So they're much more relaxed and loose than when some of us think about like the little black dress.
The
Okay,
sheath
that
dress,
still has a
whatever.
place.
Yeah, yeah,
But what we're talking about is a midi, which is, lands between the calf and the ankle. So that
yeah,
gives many different women, petite, plus size, tall, a lot of options, which I just like to set up the conversation on why they're so great.
yeah.
This are not, we don't love our legs, in the summertime. So it allows you to have that added coverage and then it's comfortable. So I think Anthropology actually does a phenomenal job when I'm looking for dresses. I just got a nice one at the Gap. I'm talking about the Gap a lot just because I was in there. Um,
They're
but
doing good this season. I picked up quite a few things at the
oh,
Gap
the
this
Gap is
season. I
amazing.
was like, oh, they've done, I don't know, this is just a different, I don't know if they
Yeah,
have a different
different
designer,
vibe.
but a different vibe this year. I was like, oh, I haven't really found that many good pieces, but this season I've got quite a few, including this top.
Yeah, I love it. And they have a lot of good denim. So denim is really hot right now. Denim dresses are really hot, if that's something. But again, if you it depends on where you live in the country,
Yeah.
like wearing denim can get really hot. So I think of denim as more of a I wear most of my denim in the shoulder seasons, spring and fall. And then of course I like having a white jean in the summer. But I'm with you on the dresses. Once you get a flavor, and a lot of them have pockets, which make them more relaxed. And I have never met a woman, Michelle, in all my years that doesn't put a dress on with pockets and say, it's like this
Absolutely.
magical reaction.
Yes.
And you can also wear like what I just, Steve Madden has an amazing
Mm.
shoe out right now. I have three pairs. They're so great. I bought
What
them.
are they? We need them. I'll link it.
It's just this, I think they're $49. So the price might direct if you're on, you can get them anywhere. I just saw them on Amazon too, but they're also, I think I got mine at one pair at Nordstrom, one pair at Bloomingdale's, but they just they're more like an earthy, crunchy sandal with straps. So you get that security, but they give a little bit of a boho vibe to those dresses. So if you want to wear them as day dresses, super fun. And then if you want to put maybe a block heel or wedge sandal with them, it gets elevated. So I guess I'm continuing on my theme, Michelle. It's really about doing more with less. And you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. We are all busy. We don't make the time to do it. Even when I had, for whatever reason, I had three trips this spring, which is unusual. The weddings are really kicking in. I went down to DC to see one of my kids, and I was in Florida visiting um, my aunts and stuff. Um, so I, in a spare bedroom, kind of get that stuff racked early. So I pull everything out and really rack it. And then before it goes in the suitcase, I'm only bringing three shoes. So stuff starts coming out if I don't match it. And then it becomes my little uniforms. The stuff that I wear on vacation that I really like becomes my uniforms when I come back. So that's helpful to anyone. I get a lot of questions on the packing, but it really does start with what's in your closet and then taking the time. Like if you need a bathing suit, like that's a hard purchase. Undergarments, I told you that I would fit that in. Those are hard purchases. When you take the time to get the foundations, if your audience, if anybody out there listening has not had a good bra fitting in a while, put that on your list. It makes the things in your closet a lot of, I work with a lot of different ages, a lot of different body shapes. Good undergarments can make clothes go from good to great. You might be able to get in button-down shirts that you haven't been able to wear in a long time just with a proper bra fitting. There's also wonderful shapewear on the market that doesn't hurt. Spanx, in my opinion, is still the number one brand to really give you that all-in shape. But there's another brand called Skims. I feel I did take it for a test drive. We did a live show on it. I did a whole thing on undergarments. Um, but the Skims, I think, are better for the younger gals. They really don't hold. I know they're an internet sensation, but I took them for a test drive, and they don't hold you in the same way that like a Spanx will. So, the undergarments, bathing suits, pants, and jeans are another item you might want to go just to do that. Then the beauty is once you get that off your list, if you have the energy, you can keep going. And for me, I kind of pick up tops wherever I go. I kind of know what I like. I still do sleeveless if you're somebody that doesn't like
I do
sleeveless,
like sleeveless. Yeah.
yeah, just set yourself up. And another great rule of thumb, especially for our petite women, is if they're doing a crop pant, think of a three-quarter sleeve. A three-quarter sleeve will balance the crop pant. And if you're somebody that is hiding some weight, a three-quarter sleeve and a three-quarter pant that's fit correctly. And again, a lot of the devil's in the details, even the fabrics. If you're trying to conceal weight, you don't want fabrics that are clingy. You want fabrics like what I have on right now, what you have on, Michelle. They're very forgiving. And this is actually a linen cotton blend, which is going to be very nice through the summer.
I love it. You mentioned elevated, like more fashion sneaker. What's a fashion sneaker? Like, what are those? What makes it a fashion sneaker?
For
Meaning
your,
it's not for athletic use.
correct. For those in your audience that are thinking, they can go to any of the major retailers from Macy's, I don't know, whatever major retailers in their area, and just put in fashion sneaker and you'll see what I mean. The ones that I personally like are Paul Green. They're a little expensive, but they've got a oh, what's it
Little
called?
height.
Platform. Yes, a
Oh, they
platform.
have a little. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
And the ones I have are slip-on, which is really great at the airport. And I wore those so hard, all over Florida, all over DC. I really got my steps in DC. I was there over Mother's Day weekend, and just super comfortable. So Paul Green is a comfort shoe, and it is pricey. However, because I don't buy much, I'd rather have one. I mean, this is my second season. As you know, Michelle, I do Bella the Ball every year. It's a big, we help young women get prom dresses here in Boston, and I personally oversee the personal shoppers. I was there for 8 hours this year running, and those shoes just served me well. So as we age too, do yourself a favor and get good footwear. And then my sneakers that I take the dog out and I do my walking in are just, really good sneakers that I don't really care how I look in those situations. I'm really more concerned about um, protecting my feet. But I will take it to, I can't tell you the number of women that are really, really struggling with making the time to get out. And we're all tied to the desks and the computers and the phones. But having things, even regular hardcore sneakers that make you feel good. I love Dick's. Dick's is one of my favorite stores.
Oh, Dick's Sporting Goods. Yeah.
Dick's Sporting Goods. It's got a female president, and they are really, there's a lot of energy going into female athletes right now. Anybody that paid attention to that women's basketball, the college
Oh,
basketball,
yeah.
girls,
You
my
played
goodness.
basketball.
Uh,
Yeah.
but I've got my eye on Dick's. They're doing a lot for women athletes.
Oh,
So any
good.
client that needs golf attire, tennis, even just really good walking shoes, that's kind of where I send them.
Okay. Well, let's actually, so on that theme, because you also mentioned that the athletic wear, or like the,
Athleisure,
more, what do you call it?
athleisure wear.
Athleisure wear has definitely, that's what's in. And, we're all being told to get our 10,000 steps in. So if we can have an elevated look with that, where we feel put together, but we can also like maybe take off the cardigan or whatever we're wearing with it and then just go do that walk and then come back and feel put together. How do we do that? Because I think, living in San Diego, that's kind of more what's in. I mean, I'm definitely always in jeans, but I sometimes I feel like my look doesn't vibe with the San Diego look, and I'd like to get a little more
I get
integrated.
that. That's another great point. You have to know, if it's important to you, the vibe of your area, even if you work, the culture too. There's a brand. Get your pen out.
I
It's
got
called
it.
Barley.
What
I'm obsessed with it.
spell it?
Varley. Varley.
Barley.
Yep. And I discovered it when I was in Florida, and I think I should probably have stock in the company because I have been recommending it to everyone. It's just a really soft, elevated, using that word again, fabric. So it reads athleisure. It is athleisure wear, but I wear it on Zoom. The one that I have is a light cream, and it's got a gold zipper. So
Pretty.
I wear it on because it's so bright on Zoom, and the zipper. By the way, those of you that are in a place in life where you're doing a lot of communicating, like a single row in the middle of a garment brings the eye in, brings the eye up. So it's just a
Mm,
great way. It's a great style technique for Zoom. It's a great style technique for running meetings. But anyway, I love that. It has three different bottoms that go with it. And I'm also obsessed with, they have a cowl neck top, which would look phenomenal on you, Miss Michelle. And they even have shorts. So look up that brand.
Barley.
And again, I'm talking about the Gap again. Last fall, I was running a retreat and really needed to be, at a resort, at a wellness resort. And I needed some of that. I was with clients. So I got just a beautiful pair a matching. So think of matching sets too. They're back in, but I got a matching set at the Gap that does not owe me a nickel. It was the washable cashmere.
Oh, I buy that. Every year they have it. I get it
It's
before it sells
phenomenal.
out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this year it had the high waist with the fuller cut, and
I've
it
not
had
gotten the bottoms though. So you got the matching.
I got the batching set, and I can't tell you the other beautiful thing about that, Michelle, and I think your listeners will appreciate this because everything we do is organized. Everything we do is trying to save people time, energy, and money. And then, of course, allowing them to feel the power of dressing well, which is our core objective. And our tagline is actually everyday style made easy. And so
Yes.
much of it's in the prep. But what I literally bought that like 2 days before the retreat because I had all my stuff racked and I'm like, oh, I really need that killer athleisure wear look that I'm going to feel good in. And I got the matching set and it was a hoodie and it was a shorter hoodie because the
Yep.
pants were higher and fuller. And I just would wash that and fold it and keep it in a drawer in a set. Wash it, fold it, and I would grab that to my husband and I like to do car trips. I would wear it on, a Saturday car trip going to some place that we were going. I can't tell you. I would wear it to walk the dog. I would wear it under a big puffy coat because the hood was really cool. I would wear it with my fashion sneakers. I would wear it with my boots. So having, to your point, if somebody really has an area of the wardrobe they need to refresh, I look like don't just buy one piece. Get the whole outfit. And
Yeah.
the outfit is the sweatshirt the bottom, make sure you have the fashion sneaker that kind of goes with it. And the other thing is, if those of your listeners that are getting a lot of catalogs in the house, which I know I do, though they have paid stylists a lot of money to put those looks together. So that's another way to get
Smart.
ideas. Back in the day, now we have some clients that have Pinterest boards that works for you. That's really a great tool. But back in the day, I used to just rip like have the client rip out pages from the catalog and as a way to say, where's your eye going? And the other thing too is having a basic sense of what colors are good on you as you age. It gets a little more important. I'm never
Yeah.
giving up on black, Michelle, but even with black, I can put gold on with it. In the days that I do wear black, I tend to wear more makeup now. So I've kind of relaxed my palette. I have a lot of cream, a lot of tan, just because those are better colors on me and I don't need to worry about makeup. And I really don't wear makeup on the weekends. That's people are always surprised by that. I really don't. I'm much more, unless I have an event, obviously. But I think taking the time to really say, who do I want to be in this next chapter of my life? And what type of clothes need to go along on the journey with me? Getting rid of the things that don't owe you anything because they cause you stress and angst. And anyone that knows about that seasonal closet switch, if you're moving the same things over and over, be done. And then fill it up with a couple of things that really make your heart sing. And then always save a little extra for an important wedding, vacation, big presentation network. That's the way that we play this game.
And when you said, you were in Florida and you bought 5 new pairs of pants, did you come home and get rid of 5 pairs of pants?
You
Or
got
you,
it.
you
Yeah.
did? You really
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Because the thing is that the pants really shifted, like they really changed this year.
Oh,
And I had
yeah.
something on top of it and adding. And I was like, okay, I really got to get this done. Because again, I'm like, how many times am I going to put the skinny pants on, take them off? So I did release a lot of bottoms. I kept a couple, like my white skinny jeans are going nowhere because I can wear those with a longer top. I can put a wedge heel on with those. And it's a
Yeah.
good shape on my body. So I saved those. I saved one pair of blue skinnies. Everything else is gone and I updated. And yeah, now I'm done. And adding tops is a lot more fun when you've taken the time to get that out of the way.
Yeah. I bought a pair of, you said the wider pant leg, and it had some of those cargo pockets. And
Yeah.
I was going out with friends, and my daughter's like, Mom, that's very Gen Z. And I was like,
Michelle.
it was so funny. But she's like, but you look good. And I was like, okay. Because I was like, didn't know how to read that comment. She's like, my friends kind of wear those, I wear those. And I was like, I know, but that's what's in. So I bought some. They were black. And so with the top, it was cute. It was a cute outfit. But it's funny because it's not a look that I would normally do. I've not done cargo pockets and the wider. It was,
Yeah. And
yeah.
for listeners who want to get this done and get it done right. And I'll share this because on our in our insiders club, I shared this tip and I couldn't. Sometimes I just say things, and it's just interesting what sticks and what really gets people results. But I told everybody in that audience, and it's again all different ages, all different sizes, all different vibes. I said, pick that one mall store that fits your body, whether it's Talbot's, Ann Taylor Loft, Chico's. Jill has a lot of great wide, that pajama pant look is really, and I'm sure it's in LA. Like pick one of those places, like stay away from Macy's, stay away from even Nordstrom, which can be a little overwhelming, a little
Yeah.
intimidating. Go
Yeah.
into those mall stores. Go in on a day when it's not, if you have the luxury of going in on a, stylist tip. My consultants love to hit them all Monday or Tuesday, right when the store opens. The merchandise has been updated and there's not as many people. But get someone that can really help you. And we had a client that came back on that Insiders and she said, I went to Talbot's. I haven't been in Talbot's in 100 years. And she said, I got 3 pairs of pants that fit. And think of also, Michelle, like you're building, think of a contractor. He or she starts with a really strong foundation. And it doesn't matter where they come if they fit and they feel good. It just
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
And then add if you've got a boho vibe, if you've got a conservative vibe, if you've got a Lily Pulitzer vibe, if you've got a color vibe, whatever it is, then you can add the tops and the jewelry and the shoes to make those pants your own.
Totally. I love this. Okay. So we finished number 2. So 3.
Number 3 is really the 4 good F words. So once you get a handle on your lifestyle, which does allow you to get rid of things. All of this is about helping you shed, identify the gaps, and then add in a way that is responsible for your price point. So number 3 is the 4 good F words, and that is fit. We've already talked about a couple of these already. Fit, fabric, function, flare, in that order. I'll say it again. Fit, number 1, everything when clothing fits you, you're wearing the clothes. The clothes aren't wearing you. Fabric. What is your internal and external thermostat? What are the fabrics you have to wear to make sure you're not too warm or not too cold, that don't cling to your body, that allow you to travel, not show up like a wrinkled mess? So that's all about fabric. That's a big conversation. Function is my favorite to talk about because nobody else talks about it. Function is what do the clothes need to do for you? When is the last time you went to a store and somebody asked you what you do on a day-to-day basis? Doesn't happen. Where are your frustrations? Doesn't happen. So we've already covered that a lot, but can't tell you, I'm going back to that exercise thing because I am really, really working hard to help a lot of women get their bodies back moving. And so functionality, and it's about getting your steps in. So maybe you leave your car at home 3 days a week and you take public transportation because that's going to get you walking. So functionality, and that also goes down to packing, that goes down to your luggage, that goes to the bags that you carry. Like if your back is acting up, you want to have a crossbody bag. You want to distribute the weight. So function is a really big category as well. And I feel like it's the one that nobody talks about. Flair is last because flair is the one that everybody leads with.
Oh,
You
that's funny.
cannot rock your style and add color effectively and wear your beautiful jewelry without getting the fit down. And the fit also is a brand conversation, Michelle. What are the brands that really fit you well, that are at a price point that you can afford and feel good about making those purchases? And again, the next one is the fabric. You're going to be miserable if you don't get the fabric down. Function, you're not going to be able to do your life without considering what you do on a day-to-day basis. And then flair is the fun, it's the frosting, it's the pull all that stuff out of it. I mean, people ask me all the time, what's the favorite part of the job? And I don't do as much of the day to day as I used to. Give me a closet any day of the week and show me where those gems are. And I'm going to help you wear things that you may have not worn in a million years because you've taken the time to get a proper bra fitting. You've updated your pants. The other one is a lot of times I always say to clients, and they love this, this is another keeper, go on a shop and shell shop. I'm sorry, a shell and shoe shop. Shells and shoes, shells and shoes. So if you've got a bunch of blazers that no longer button, getting a couple of shells that you don't need to button, or having a really nice shirt like you have on today, you could even for 4th of July pop like a red little cami, and it would give it
A little flair.
Michelle's wearing a beautiful blue and white shirt right now, but like adding red to that. So having enough shells and then having enough shoes that are comfortable and give you, like maybe you really don't want to give up your heels. So maybe you need to get some wedges that are more comfortable and going to protect your back. Maybe you have to add the sneakers we've been talking about. But nothing gives me more joy than adding a couple of the current shapes, shoes, colors, and then going back in. And yeah, that's the fun, but the flair is last. And I can't tell you how many people call this office looking for a consultation and they want to lead with that. And we're like, glad you called here because we're gonna build it in a way that's gonna give you so much more confidence, so much more ease, and so much more joy because confidence and ease equal joy.
Oh, I love that.
When you have a very basic wardrobe, say a pair of jeans, and maybe it's a cut in a dark denim, which is always more formal, by the way, than light. So I like to use that rule of thumb with people that want to incorporate jeans professionally. A dark orange is going to be more professional than a light one. Maybe you have a white, and maybe you have a cream shell and a leather jacket. So I'm thinking of something I have. I have a taupe leather jacket that has gold zippers. I wear it with a cream shell and jeans. So if I throw one of those bags over with the strap, that's to me so much more efficient and so much more it's just classy and it's not complicated and that trend speaks without being the leader of the show.
Yes.
But if I like to wear a lot of dresses, so I have clients that love we were talking about the summer dresses, and this is the season to go bold. You don't have to worry about jackets as much or coordinating all that. So maybe you're doing that. Those bags are not going to be as easy to coordinate. So maybe you go with, and I have a very simple Lululemon crossbody. I love, that's another thing for your, I can't tell you how many of those I buy for people. I usually get a cream and a black, and usually most of our clients are professionals. 80% of the women we work with are professionals, something that can go in a tote, a carry-on bag, or sometimes just a cream or a brown. Also
The
brown.
crossbody, just to clarify for the listeners.
Yep.
Okay, yep, I know. Yes.
Put on with a pretty dress, floral dress, and then maybe you do sneakers with that look. And your
Fashion sneakers, yeah.
fashion sneakers. And then you want to wear that to a bridal shower, the same dress. Maybe you put on a moderate stack heel slide. A slide is a backless shoe. The ones that are really in right now are the rope. They've got like a rope on the front of the shoe. So maybe you put that on, and maybe the dress green and pink are so big right now.
I just bought a beautiful Veronica Beard dress in green, and I never wear green. It was like a forest green. And so many people, it was for a book launch party for one of the women I interviewed, and it was up in LA, and so many people wearing green.
Yeah, green's huge. And think about green with pink. Think about it with orange. I tend to go orange with my coloring. For your listeners, I've got auburn hair. So think of green with orange. Think green with pink. Green. Yeah, so that's how you do it. So if you've got the dress that you love, you wear it crossbody bag and sneakers, and then elevate it for a book party. Great example, with maybe an orange handbag, a pink handbag, and a pretty shoe. And then, of course, when you're getting, the one thing what I love about summer is you can go into your jewelry box and some of the things that you don't really wear in the winter, the lighter shells and, you know what I mean, like the beads.
Yeah.
Throw maybe you have a beautiful necklace that maybe I have some stuff that was my grandmother's that I still wear. And what I love to do is look for those complementary colors, Michelle, like the green and the orange, turquoise and pink. So if you
Mm,
dress, maybe you throw those turquoise. And
I
who
should have
doesn't?
called you.
Yeah, anytime, girl. You got me on text anytime. But yeah, I hope I could talk all day. I am talking about this. It's such a joy to sit and talk with someone like you that understands like style, but also understands the effect on our mood, on our
Psyche.
self-confidence, our self-esteem. And who doesn't like going to such a beautiful example that you just shared? And it kind of goes back to even my day yesterday with my mom. Like, who doesn't like to show up at someone's book party in a happy color that shows respect again for yourself, shows such love for the person that you're dressing for? I dress for people. I really do.
Yeah.
Um, and I tone it down when I need to tone it down to make other people feel comfortable. And then when it's kind of on my time, and I just went to a friend's daughter's wedding, and
Mm.
I hadn't bought a beautiful. It was a very formal wedding. I hadn't bought myself like a beautiful summer dress. It was silk, and
Oh, I
I
love
got
silk.
it just felt great, Michelle. And it was like I was dressing for her. She's very dear to me. She loves clothes. And I was like, I'm going to show up at this wedding for her daughter, who I've known since she was born, and for me and my husband. And we had a blast. And, some other weddings, I might use something else that's in my closet because it might just be a different. This was in Hilton Head. It was, a beautiful environment. And, I'll wear that dress over and over and over again. So make my parting thought, I guess, for your listeners is just to slow it down, get centered, get grounded, get rid of stuff that makes you feel bad, that doesn't fit anymore, that is part of a different life that you might not even have anymore. And use clothing to celebrate wherever you are in life. There's so much out of our control these days. How you choose to dress is completely in your control. And I think I've shared with you from Amazon to Saks to Talbot's to Anthropologie to consignment stores to your own closet. Fashion is where you find it. It's just taking the time to think about how much time you want to devote to this practice and then putting things together that are at the ready so you're not always stressed leaving the house.
Absolutely. I love what you just said, especially about how you not only showed up for you, but your friend's daughter. Let's wrap up with the last two items on the organizational structure so we can dress well ourselves.
Oh, great, Michelle. So we've already taken you through step number one is really getting a handle on your lifestyle. And if you can use a pie chart, how much of your time is spent working, social, working out, you get the gist. Like, what do you need your wardrobe to do for you? Number two is all about getting organized. We talked about that. Number three is the four good F words: fit, fabric, function, flair. Number three is really about making a list, and this is about
Four.
identifying gaps. Number four is make a list. So
Okay.
before you take that credit card and spend your hard-earned cash, it's then looking at the closet and seeing what's left after you've culled it for things that no longer work. You've culled it for the fit, the fabrics actually feel good and work for you. You kind of get a handle on your lifestyle again, and you're looking at functionality. And of course, the flair, which is the color and the accessories and all that good stuff. So it's number four is like then saying, okay, and I've done this for so many other people that I'll share it with your listeners. Like, I don't like to overwhelm anyone. So I might make a huge list of what would be great for this person to have, but I always, before I share that, I get it to like 5 items. Why five? Because if they go out and get a pair of pants that really fits, I know that that's going to have a major impact on how they feel about themselves. If they've been afraid of those fashion sneakers and I can help them get that, that's going to give a lot of what they already own a fresher vibe. And it's also going to make them happy. And then it might be, like I mentioned, my trench coat. I really needed that. So what do you need? And then it might be like, oh, I'm really bored with my Zoom clothes. So let's get 3 new Zoom tops. So whatever that is. So that's step number four. And then step number five is identifying, and I call it putting together your dream team. Um, It's the stores, the vendors, the uh, jewelry repair, shoe repair, alterations, eyeglasses. Like, what's your team? What are your stores if you don't like to physically shop? What are your websites? Like, how are you going to play this game well? And the last tip, and it's not really on our top five, but it should be. It's because it's so important. Um, it's it's checking in before you cut all the tags, like getting stuff in your closet and play with it and either return it or don't keep anything that doesn't really fit the objective, which is again, everyday style made easy.
You're brilliant. I can see why you've been so successful. You've been at this for what is it? How many years now? 30 years?
I think it's 30 years. If you could even believe that, it's
Well,
crazy.
yes, so it's phenomenal, but you've brought so much value. I appreciate you so much. Anything we didn't, before we wrap up, any advice you want to leave the women listening with today about elevating their everyday style that we didn't touch upon?
I think I kind of got it. Our marching, our 5-step process. Once we got that down, it's what I love about it is that any one of your listeners can start anywhere on that process and get a big result. And the other thing I love is that, and I think one of the things that people like about our message is you don't have to have a ton of money to dress well. You really don't. You can if you want, but most of the people that come to us love that we are very practical in the approach. And if you like these kind of tips, we do have a great newsletter. So just leave your email at dressingwell.com. We do a really nice blog, and I also do a bi-monthly style and inspiration reflection. And then we also have a really great Facebook group, which is free. And we just last summer launched Dressing Well Insiders. It's $24.99 a month. It's a subscription, so there's no long-term. We haven't had anybody leave, but yeah, we have an option that you can pay an annual as well. But if you like this kind of stuff, we go live on Zoom the first Monday, 7 to 8 Eastern time. And we just have a great time. We bring one topic, we do Q&A, and we also send out the shopping links, which people love. So you get the replay, you get 10 shopping links, and you get a fun Facebook group where these women, we don't even need to be in there. They're like saying, I have these 2 shoes. What do you like the best with this outfit? Or I have my son's wedding. Do you guys like the navy blue, or should I go a little bit more bold? So if you like this kind of thing and you're really looking to make it easier and more joyful, you can find us in many places that will serve you well.
You're so wonderful. You bring the joy and you make it so approachable. And you just feel relaxed after talking to you. I'm like, oh, it's so much more doable than you think. It's just, you have to make the time. You have to make the time. So give us your handles so people can find you online.
Dressingwell.com, and we have a great newsletter again and a blog, so please leave your email. My Instagram, which is kind of the one that I personally do, nobody else here, it's all mine, is Mary Lou Andre Style, and I like to share all this fashion stuff, and I also explore other things that are passionate to me, which travel and movies and art and all that good stuff, and my family and my dog. Michelle and I were talking, we're both dog lovers. And then for the company, we have a great Facebook, Dressing Well. We also have a free Facebook group, Beyond Dressing Well. And you can find it on our website. Our monthly style club, we're so proud of this, is Dressing Well Insiders.
Perfect. And I'll have all the links on the show notes over at thegoodlifecoach.com, where you can access it right on your podcast player. Share this with your friends, make it fun, and maybe you team up together, or maybe you join one of Mary Lou's groups together and have fun with how you're styling yourself every day so you can look and feel your best. Thank you so much. Always such a pleasure to be with you, Mary Lou.
Oh, thank you, Michelle. I could talk to you all afternoon. You also just walk the talk, and I really appreciate that you appreciate our message, which really is about confidence and energy and joy.
Love it. Such a pleasure. Hey friend, I have one request before we sign off today. If you've gained any value from any of the interviews that you've tuned into, would you take just 1 minute and leave a 5-star rating and review over on Apple Podcasts? It's actually how more women can find the show, and I want to continue growing a community of women who are loving themselves and living full on. So thank you for all of your support, and I look forward to being back with you next week. Bye for now.
This podcast is presented for entertainment and educational purposes only. Any information provided is not intended to be a substitute for medical, mental health, or other professional advice. Seek out your trusted healthcare provider or other qualified professional for all matters dealing with your health and well-being. Any opinions or information provided by a guest are their own and not those of Michelle Lamoureux or the company.